Hey guys, what is happening and welcome to this video. So in this video we are talking about the New Zealand housing market and what we can learn from the New Zealand housing market. So without further ado guys, let's do this. Alright guys, welcome back. So New Zealand started their rate hiking cycle earlier than both Canada and the US and even the UK. They started it last year around September, October. I don't know the exact date, but it was around then. And they started with the usual 25 basis point hike, and they have followed up with hike after hike after hike. And it was just 3, 4, 5 weeks ago now that, guess what? They hiked to 1%. They finally got to 1%. So what does this mean? And what does this mean for other countries? Well, the thing is, guys, and I'm not sure you know this, but the New Zealand housing market is very similar to Canada's in a lot of different ways. For a start off, they didn't have the 2008 crisis. They've also got massive household debt levels. In fact, Canada exceeds New Zealand by a little bit in terms of their household debt. So the thing is, we're in incredibly similar markets that react the same as well to different things and different metrics. So that is worth noting. So there's a lot of similarities between New Zealand and Canada. So the thing is, the housing market there has started to dive and sentiment is falling off a cliff now. And this was actually being reported. I've been following this closely on this channel, as you guys may have seen in certain live streams that I've done and mentioned, and we've talked about the New Zealand housing market over the past couple of weeks. Now, if you haven't done so already, guys, go down below by the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Turn on all notifications so you get notified when I go live. That doesn't mean that you have to watch every single video that I put out there or anything like that, but it's just going to give you a notification for when we go live. So the thing is, the New Zealand housing market, the cracks are really starting to show. And big municipalities, places like Auckland, the housing market is cracking there, and it's fallen 6% in some places in 1 month. Now, if you compound that over a year, then that could easily turn into a crash very quickly. But before we even get started thinking about that, let's just think about that they're at 1%. And this had already started, the market had changed at 0.75%. And I think we'll see exactly the same thing happen in Canada, but the consequences could be even worse. Why is that? Because Canada has higher household debt levels than New Zealand and way higher private debt levels than New Zealand. So businesses are more in debt, households are more in debt. So that means that Canadians, businesses and people are more exposed to the rising cost of interest rates than in New Zealand. So anyway, the fact that they are so exposed is a real big problem. And you might be saying, well, a 1/4 percentage point here or there, it's not going to make any difference, Luke. The fact is, we've had one hike and there's more coming, and the one hike has already turned the market upside down. We had a February that was setting records for month-over-month gains across the country, and that has quickly flipped, and inventory has absolutely exploded. Here in Calgary, we saw the inventory expand 23% in 1 week. And that just goes to show you how quick markets can change. And I've been saying this on this channel for a long, long time, and I get a lot of comments off people going, oh, the housing supply is low, Luke. So what are they going to do? They need to build more houses. No, no, no. The housing supply is low because prices are increasing so much. People are holding off selling. Guess what? The same thing happens in the stock market. 90% of people have the bad investment type mentality that even I used to have. And what that is essentially you sell when prices are going down and you buy when prices are going up. But you should be buying when prices are going down, or at least buying when prices have reversed and started to go up from going down to a level that is cheap to buy, and then sell when prices are going up. Now, some people understand this and they've been profit taking over the last year. A lot of people, I'm sure, have sold their houses. And those people are laughing. That's if they didn't buy another one, of course. But many people have sold and they're moving out of the country. And those are the real winners in this matter. But now you're going to get even more profit taken, and that's going to be stepped up to the maximum. As prices start to turn, people are going to start to get fearful that there's going to be further declines, because after a massive run and you get all that euphoria that enters the market, subconsciously the human mind is thinking, was this sustainable? Could this go on? It doesn't seem right to me. Why is this happening? Everybody's asking all these questions on the way up and making all these excuses for why things always go up. But as soon as things start to change, they start asking questions like, is the housing market going to crash? What is going to happen over the next 12 months? Was this move sustainable? Are prices going to go down by 40, 50%? And that is where the fear and the panic comes into the mix. And the thing is, guys, I'm not a genius, okay? And I'm really not. A lot of you guys also were predicting similar things to what I've been predicting. And you don't have to be smart, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to predict these things. You just have to look at things with critical thinking and logical thinking instead of looking at things with your emotions like most people do. Most people look at different things with their emotions, and that's exactly what I tell you guys not to do. We've talked about FOMO so many times on this channel. Well, FOMO turns into FOLI, as I call it, which is fear of losing everything. Because a lot of people have put all their chips into the poker game now, and they're all in on real estate. And that was a big mistake. And you know, there's been all these excuses. There's always an excuse why housing prices can only go up. You know, the grass is brown, there's no leaves on the trees today, so that must mean the housing prices go up. Whatever it is, people have an excuse for it. But these aren't logical excuses, and when you really dig into the nuance of these excuses, they have no base at all. They're just completely made up by the mainstream media to make stories that make you click on those stories. So the thing is, you have to be very critical and mindful with the mainstream narrative, and at one point I'm sure it's going to change to the housing market is going to crash, because that's going to get a lot of clicks as well. So the thing is, we've seen a lot of growth on this channel. I have no idea what it's to do with. It could be to do with more people are now searching and getting interested about the Canadian housing market and the Canadian economy crashing, which is what we've kind of been saying on this channel now for the past 10 months, 8-10 months. I started this channel at the end of June last year. So the thing is, guys, it's incredibly interesting time. This is a great time to look at the way people are behaving, drop little tidbits, as I said in other videos, to see if any of your friends or family bite, what their views are, before saying what your position is, because then you're going to kind of just observe people. And I always do that. I think human beings are incredibly interesting creatures, and you know, I'm one of the boring people who study psychology as well, and the practical kind at that. So anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video and got something from this video. Please like, subscribe, and go down there, hit that notification bell, change it to all so you get notified when we go live. You can also email me your stories wherever you are in the world. I know there's people from New Zealand and all over. Email me marketmaniacanada@gmail.com. See you guys. Peace.